everyone, and welcome back to my channel. If you are new here, hi, my name is Monica. I like to post anti-MLMs, that's anti-multi-level marketing, life, and some true crime content here on this channel. So if any of that interests you, make sure to hit that subscribe button. I would love for you to stick around. In today's video, I am bringing you anti-MLM content, so of course, just as a disclaimer, this video is for entertainment purposes only and just my opinions. Before we proceed into the actual video, I wanted to say thank you so much to all of the love that I got on my community tab post. I even had someone post like a get well soon post in my anti-MLM Facebook group. So I just wanted to say thank you so much for all of the love on that post. And as I said, my videos are going to be a little kind of scattered and a little all over the place because I just haven't really had time to film, research, edit, which is why I'm doing a reaction video today, because these are a lot easier than my regular research content. But I just wanted to say that, so thank you so much. Hey guys, Editing Monica here. I just wanted to say that I filmed this over a week ago, which is why the timing is so spread out, but I'm referring to the community tab post from March 1st. I also decided to split this video up into two separate videos due to how long it was originally. Along with that, for whatever reason in the editing process, the blurring tool was acting a little finicky. So if you see the Monat logo on top of the reps' faces, it's because it was acting up at that point and it was just coming off the face and going back on the face. So I just wanted to say that that is the reasoning behind the logo being on top of the rep's face. I am playing with the lighting, so if you guys see every single video being a little bit different, I've been playing with the lighting for, I don't know, the past couple of weeks, and I just wanted to say that this space is not done yet. It is nowhere near done. I know I've gotten some comments about it, so I just wanted to say that it's nowhere near finished. But now that I got all of the housekeeping things out of the way, let's get into these videos. So these videos, or these reps, their profiles were sent to me by one of you, and I'm not going to name who you are because I kind of want to keep you anonymous. So I just wanted to say that these reps that I'm going to be reacting to today, they seem like they're on the same team. They are part of Monat. I do think, I mean, in my opinion, this is just my opinion, I do think that they're really, really, really beautiful, and I do think that they have the perfect why, which is something that I spoke about in my previous reaction video, but they have the typical why story. And I've noticed that a lot of these women are talking about being moms. So I just want you guys to keep that in mind as we go through, because you'll see that they kind of reference that a lot. So anyway, I'm gonna scooch over and let's just get into it.
I hope that my connection is good, but I'm really excited to come live because it's been a long time since I actually shared my story, and I know that a lot of people ask me, they're like, dude, did you really like retire? Like, how did you even do that? And I'm super excited to share with you that in fact I did do that. So I will be totally honest that when I started this business, I didn't expect anything. I barely expected a $200 check. Okay, honestly, if I'm being real, I was like, you know what? I will be lucky if I make an extra $200 just to cover my lashes. And that was going to be good enough for me. And I was also really skeptical of the products themselves, because again, I am a licensed stylist, and I just was like, dude, I've never heard of buying shampoo through like network marketing. And then on top of that, the person who signed me up is not a beauty person and knows nothing about hair. And I just was like, dude, how are you gonna tell me about shampoo? You know? And so anyway, just all the skeptical things, right? And I literally told her, dude, if this makes my hair fall out, I am going to fly to and kill you, because at that time I was still living in, and it was just, I was extremely skeptical. Like I was worried for a sec. Okay. So anyway, long story short, obviously I tried the shampoo. Here we are not almost 2 years. I want to say like 18 months, okay, into my business since I started. And yes, this is my full time. Okay. This is my full time. And the reason why I say full time is because I don't actually work full-time hours. Like, I don't work 40 hours a week, right? Some weeks I work more, some weeks I work less, you know? Sometimes I wake up at the butt crack of dawn, some days I sleep in until 11 and I don't start working until 3, you know? But that is the beauty of this business. And my girl on here, and she's actually a stylist too, who is in this business as well, and she's making that full-time income from her phone also. So I didn't believe in the product. I didn't believe in that there was actually a possibility to make money here, and I figured...
Pausing it here real quick because I did want to discuss the whole retiring from a full-time job and then doing this full-time. I don't know why this became a thing with MLM reps or MLM companies, because it had to come from somewhere. But I don't get this whole retiring thing, because you're not actually retiring. If you think about it, you're quitting your full-time job, so you're 9 to 5, whatever it is. Let's say that you work in an office. You're quitting your 9 to 5 office job, and you're in a sense going to another job. Yes, it's not the same thing because you can work from home, but that's what a lot of people are doing now during the pandemic, because a lot of companies, they want you to work remotely. They want you to work from home. So you really didn't retire. And I know that they're talking more so about they just left their full-time job and they're doing this full-time now. I get that. I understand that. But you didn't actually retire. You quit one job and you went to another job, because I know that these reps like to say that they're small business owners and things like that. But at the end of the day, you are still working for someone. You are still working for someone just like you were in your 9 to 5, because they like to talk down on 9 to 5s. Not all of them. Not all of them, but a lot of them, they like to bring up that working a 9 to 5 is average. They like to bring up that working a 9 to 5 is settling or settling for less, or whatever they like to say. But so I did just want to point that out. Along with that, she said that she put it in full-time, like she put full-time in quotes, working monat, because some weeks she works more than others. Then when she put working monat full-time in quotes, she did that because she works this business differently. One week she'll work full-time hours, the next week she won't. But we know that when you're in an MLM, this MLM becomes your life. That's all you talk about. That's all you do. Any posts that you put on social media, more times than not, probably about 90% of the time, it has to do with your business. It has to do with the product. It has to do with what you're able to do, because you're part of this business now. You're part of this MLM company. And I know that because I was there. When I was in Beachbody, we constantly, our social media, all of our social media was based off of, how can I turn this into something that would go back to my business? Even if we're not talking about Beachbody directly, how can I make it kind of about that, so that maybe some people will be curious and they'll contact me? So your entire life revolves around this business, regardless of if you work it full-time hours this week and not full-time hours next week. But again, we know that you're going to work full-time hours. We know that you're going to work, for most people, you're going to work more than full-time hours. You're going to work late nights and stuff like that. So that's just something I wanted to mention.
Believe in that there was actually a possibility to make money here, and I figured at some point I would probably go back to working behind the chair. But I had kids, I had my daughter, and I said that I don't want to go back behind the chair, because it is a really physically demanding job. Okay, I have a pinched nerve here that has not gone away, will probably never go away. Okay, I have a pinched nerve because I worked obviously at a blow dry bar. And I would have to do back-to-back blow dry bars for like, what, a $10 tip, you guys. And then I made decent in tips, but not anything compared to what I make now, but also for not having to do all that manual labor. And I also have a sciatica in my hip. Okay, so it's really demanding. You get carpal tunnel, your feet hurt, like it's a lot. And don't get me wrong, I am absolutely obsessed with the industry. Sometimes I miss it. I loved it. I love that it really gave me that creative outlet to work with my hands. You know, I really did love that. But after I had my daughter, I was like, I love being a mom more, and I didn't want to have to work on weekends. I didn't want to have to work 12-hour shifts, okay, on my feet, breaking my back, you know, and it's exchanging time for money, right? Or money for time. So I just was tired and I just didn't want to do it anymore. And so I was like, listen, I don't care if I have to clip coupons. Like, what do I have to do to stay home with my kids? And around this opportunity did come in my lap, but literally at the worst possible time, because I was extremely postpartum with my son, and mentally I just was like, dude, I cannot do a business right now. Like, I just can't. I don't have the mental space or capacity to do it. And I said no. Several times I said no until finally she was persistent. So I said yes. All right.
Pausing it there for a few reasons. First of all, I feel my heart breaks for her that she had to go through postpartum. This is something that happens a lot, and I feel like she's using it as a way to pitch the opportunity, but at the same time, I'm not going to diminish the fact that she went through that was a rough time in her life. But again, she is using it as a tactic. Regardless of if she's doing it intentionally or if she really truly does think that she can help other moms that are in the same boat as she is. That I don't know, because I'm not this rep, so I don't know what her intentions are behind that. But I do just want to say that I feel so sorry that she had to experience postpartum, because I hear that a lot. I hear that a lot within these MLM companies. And to all of the women out there who experience postpartum, please seek professional help. Don't think that just because you watch an MLM rep on a live or on an Insta story, just because you watch them say that they went through postpartum and that now they're doing so much better and that this opportunity came at the worst time, but it helped them, blah, blah, blah. Please seek professional help, and don't feel, because I know some women who have felt embarrassed talking about postpartum. So all I have to say is, please don't feel embarrassed by it. This happens to more women than we'll ever know, because some women don't talk about it. But I just wanted to mention that in here. Going back to what the anti-MLM portion. Sorry, I've rambled. Going back to the anti-MLM portion. She spoke about how the rep that recruited her was very persistent and that she said no multiple times. This is something that I cannot stand within the MLM industry. And this was said to me too. No doesn't mean no, it means not right now. I think that's wrong. I truly, truly think that's wrong, because no means no. It means no. If someone says no to you, they don't need to explain to you why they're saying no. They really don't need to tell you anything. And I think that if someone says no, if you want to follow up with them one time, let's say you want to follow up with them one time, okay, fine. But if you're going to constantly badger people until they say yes, because sometimes people might actually feel bad and they'll say yes because they just feel bad, or they'll say yes because you didn't leave them alone. I just find it wrong. No means no. Anyone who's getting pitched by these MLM reps, they don't need to explain themselves. They don't need to say why they're saying no. It should just be left at no thanks. That's it.
So I said yes. All right. So anyway, here we are. Not only have I gotten my Cadillac, which is great, it's exciting, I love it. And yes, the income is amazing. I think that a lot of people are skeptical about the kind of money that you make. And I will say that I didn't make it just sitting on my butt eating bonbons all day thinking that I was gonna get a juicy check. No, like, you hustle and you work for it. But again, it's not hard, as in we're not doing something physically demanding. Like, my job is to sit here and talk to you on Instagram and sometimes occasionally look cute, okay? But other times show up as the hot mess that I am, and that still be okay, and I'm still making income from my phone. And
I find it hypocritical for her to say that it's because she's not necessarily saying that it's easy, but she is saying along the lines of, I just hop on social media and I talk to you guys through Instagram. We know it's more than that. We know that it's more than just hopping onto an Insta story and being like, hey, join my opportunity today. No, there's so much more that goes into it. We all know that. And for her to say this time around that you have to hustle to get there and you can't just sit on your butt, but yet just a few minutes ago, she said that some weeks she doesn't really work full time, and she put full time in quotes. But now she's saying that you do have to work hard. Then she's saying that it's easy. Well, she didn't say it was easy. Let me not put words in her mouth. But she made it seem like it was easy because all she does is go on Instagram. So it's very hypocritical. It's very hypocritical.
On my phone. And so that's basically it. Like, I work from home, and how we get paid, or what it is that we do, is we share the products that we love with our friends and our family and those that we know, which is something that honestly you're doing. If you're watching this, you're not in my business, you're already doing that, right? Like, we share our favorite Starbucks drinks, we share our favorite kids clothes or makeup, you know, go to Sephora and we post about this, you know, the Rihanna lipstick that we bought, right? And so our friends go and buy it, but what happens? You're not getting paid for it. You're not. And that's okay, because we naturally love doing these things, right? We love to share. And so if you love to share what products you're trying or what brands you have, you can monetize that. It literally is as simple as that. You can.
It bothers me when MLM reps talk about this, because why is it that everything has to be monetized? Why is it that everything that we do in our lives, there has to be some kind of financial motivation behind it? Because if I'm telling people about my favorite restaurant, or if I'm telling people about my favorite Starbucks drink, which wouldn't really be a thing because unpopular opinion, I'm not a huge fan of Starbucks. But if I was to tell people about my favorite things, I don't expect to get paid for it, because I don't expect that. Why is it that everything has to be financially motivated? Why can't we just share what we like with friends and family because we want to do it? I just don't understand this mindset that these reps always say, because a lot of people will think about that and say, you know what? Yeah, she's right. Why am I not getting why am I not getting any kind of financial gain when I tell people about my favorite Starbucks drink? Well, you shouldn't expect that. If you're recommending something to someone, you shouldn't expect to get paid for it. I just wanted to say that because I do think it's important to just tell people that not everything has to be financially motivated. You shouldn't get monetized for everything that you talk about in your life, everything that you recommend in your life. I think that's a very flawed way of thinking, but that is my opinion. That's my opinion. Other people's opinions may differ.
Monetize that. It literally is as simple as that. You can monetize and make money and income for something that you're already doing. And you're also wasting time scrolling on Instagram. So you can start a business. You can start a business that has the biggest return. All right. So I wanted to share that with you guys because I know it's like funny and I laugh and like, oh yes, I'm retired, but you guys, I am. Like, shampoo retired me. This opportunity that I was hella skeptical about, that I didn't even want to touch my head because, you know, I was snooty like us stylists are. We are kind of snooty. We're really hard to reach. So if there's anybody who's skeptical, it's us. I promise you. We've asked all the questions. But now I make that full-time income from my phone. And what's even better is that I help the girls that I work with do the same. I help these women and men too who are like, listen, I need extra income. I have a family. I want to work less at my 9-to-5. I want to quit my 9-to-5. Okay. I want to pay off debt. I want to pay for groceries. I need extra help paying for diapers, you know? I lost my job because of COVID. Like, there literally is so much. And if you guys have any questions, like, please feel free to put it. I know there's like a little question box down there, and you can type it in the comments or whatever if you have any questions on more about what it is that I do or how I did it or whatever.
I'm gonna stop it there because this is basically the end of her video, but it just bothers me that there were so many tactics used within this video. And she spoke about the whole, if you want to quit your 9 to 5, or if you want to be able to pay for groceries, if you want to be able to pay for diapers, again, targeting moms, targeting people who are maybe not very happy at their full-time jobs. I do find it interesting that she talked about how hairstylists, and if there's anyone that would be very skeptical about joining Monat, that it would be them. I have asked hairstylists about Monat, and they have said certain things about how they're skeptical. They have talked about these certain ingredients that are in it. So there is something to be said there. But there are also a lot of hairstylists that have come out and spoken out against Monat and against using the products. So I think it's kind of like a toss-up. So there's that. But anyway, let's get into this next video, which is someone that is on her team, I believe. I don't know who's above who, but the title of the video is What's Missing in Your Business?
Let's talk business. I'm going to tell you guys the one thing most people are missing in their business. Most people start their business and they think about systems, they think about strategy, they think about how am I going to, price this, they think about money, they think about all these things, and they're missing the one thing. So most people fail in business because they don't take care of their mindset. They have no strategy for mindset. They are not doing the consistent work, the personal development that it takes in order to be successful in business. And let me tell you why mindset is so important. Mindset is going to push you through on the days that you don't want to. The days that are hard, the days that the numbers don't look good, the days that, we just don't feel like showing up for our business. Those are the days where mindset is going to get you through. So, thinking about this, most people start the business and they're like super excited on day 1, but on day 7, on day 10, on day 15, they have a problem. They have a customer complaint. They have, somebody's writing a bad review about their business, and they do not have the right mindset. So they give up, or they get mad, or they fight back, or they get upset, or they shut down for the day. They mentally shut down. But someone with a good mindset, someone that's taking care of their mindset, someone that's personally developed, is going to take that as a lesson and maybe grow from it. Maybe ask more questions. Maybe see what it is that they can do to better their business, to maybe deal with the customer complaint in a positive way, to maybe deal with the bad review in a positive way, to maybe work through the I don't feel like it that day. So mindset over motivation, over being hyped on day 1, over being hyped because you got a customer, or because, someone said something nice about your business, mindset is going to push you on the day to day, on the times where you have ebbs and flows in your business, because it is going to happen. Business is not just going to be always growing. Doesn't matter what business you're in, doesn't matter how amazing your products are or how amazing your service is, you are going to have ups and downs in your business, and your mindset is going to get you through. So do the work. Do the work daily. Don't get lazy on your mindset, because on the days you're getting lazy, you'll see that your actions are not as strong as they were when you were taking care of it. Your mind has everything to do with your action and how your life will turn out, because you are going to show up the best way when you are taking care of your mind. So do it, because that is the number one thing that people are missing in their business. Bye, guys.
I don't think that's the number one thing that people are missing in their business, but that can be my opinion. I don't think this whole mindset thing, there are certain things that I agreed with her on and certain things that I didn't agree with her on. So what I did agree with her on is that sometimes there are going to be bad days. There are going to be days where the numbers are nowhere near what they were, I don't know, a week ago or something. And there are going to be days where you're kind of like, today wasn't really that great as opposed to last week. Maybe because today's Saturday. Maybe the numbers today are nowhere near what they were last Saturday. So I can kind of understand where she's coming from, that you can have those days where it's just not that great. And you might get down on yourself. You might think about, well, this sucks. Like, what did I do wrong today? But it's normal to think that way. It's normal to not have a positive mindset all the time. Because if you're having positive mindset all the time, and it's getting to the point where you are not allowing yourself to experience a different emotion besides positivity, guess what that comes out to be? Toxic positivity. You are a human being. You're allowed to have a bad day. You're allowed to go home and say, today sucked, but you know what? Tomorrow's a new day. Maybe there was something wrong. Maybe it was super slow for other people today too. But when it gets to the point where you're doing or reading personal development every single day to make sure that your mindset is okay for your business, I don't find that productive. My opinion, again, this is my opinion, because you can be using, if you want to read personal development, from my experience within an MLM, I will never read personal development ever again. I can't do it because of how heavily pushed and encouraged it was. But if you want to read personal development here and there, yeah, that's fine. But why spend so much time on personal development when you can be using that time and using it to be productive in building your business? Yeah, maybe the numbers suck today, then take a couple of hours to yourself. If you, let's say, when I have technical difficulties with my videos, because it happens. Let's say that I film an entire video and I go to watch it later, there's technical difficulties and I have to redo the entire thing again. There have been days where I said, you know what? I am so frustrated that I'm just gonna re-record this tomorrow because I'm not doing it again today because it's gonna come off in the video that I have an attitude because I'm just so angry that my camera cut out, that my volume wasn't working, that my microphone wasn't working, that things like that. So it's normal to just take a breather. It's not all about mindset. And I really wish that that wasn't something that they so heavily focused on, because having a positive outlook. So, okay, and I say this a lot. Being optimistic is one thing, but when you're having that mindset of toxic positivity where you are not allowing yourself to have any other emotion, that's not good. This is going to be by the same rep that just spoke about the positive mindset, but I am going to issue a little bit of a disclaimer before this video. If you're someone who can't really listen to a traumatic birth story kind of a thing, her baby is okay and everything, but she does kind of go a little bit into detail about her birth story and what happened and stuff like that. So if that's something that you can't listen to, I don't recommend watching this part of the video. I will just say, fast forward to the next portion. But let's get into it.
I have not gone live in so long, so I wanted to come on here because it is payday. And so I have a little payday story for you guys. The best paycheck I ever earned. It's not that it was the highest paycheck. It's not that it was the most. It was that it was the most appreciated. So I gave birth in December. And honestly, December was one of the hardest, most beautiful, most insane, most rewarding months of my entire life. I gave birth to my son, and as many of you guys know, it was a beautiful home birth or birthing center, it was beautiful. It was absolutely everything that you could ever ask for. It was only 10 hours. I went to the birthing center and I was already 9 centimeters dilated. My son came out and he was beautiful and healthy, but I unfortunately was not okay. I had to go to the hospital in an ambulance because my placenta wasn't coming out. And honestly, just me going into that ambulance and having my son with me and not knowing if I was going to be okay and if this beautiful boy was even going to have a mom, it was a very traumatic event. It was a very traumatic event. And I didn't admit that it was traumatic to myself even for a long time. I think I just started to admit that maybe I wasn't okay. I lost a lot of blood and I had to still take care of this little being, right? So when I came back home, I was not myself. I was completely depleted. I was a little depressed and I had some anxiety, a lot of anxiety. I wasn't 100%. So, of course, I love what I do. I love my business so much. I love being able to mentor people, but I was not able to do that 2 weeks for a few weeks after I gave birth to my son. After what happened in the hospital and just not feeling myself, not feeling completely energetic and all the stuff that I usually feel, I didn't jump right back into work, even though I really tried and I would go on stories and, kind of do work. I wasn't putting in the effort that I usually do. I was completely defeated. I didn't feel like, I just didn't feel like the leader that I am. And to be completely honest with you, I didn't show up the way I usually do. And so
I just want to stop it there real quick because her story is very sad what happened, and you can tell that she really did go through a rough time. But to any mom out there or dad, if you just had a baby and if you are a new parent, it's okay to not want to do or to not have the same motivation for your job, for your business that you did before. It is okay to not have the same motivation. You have a miniature version of you, or let's say that you adopted, you have a miniature version of a human being that you now have to take care of. It's not easy, and it's not going to be sunshines and rainbows. There are going to be bumps in the road. And I think that needs to be spoken about a little bit more, that it's okay to not be 100% yourself after a baby. It's okay. Judging by her, it seems like she probably was really hard on herself. And I don't know because I've never spoken to her before, but it seems like she was very hard on herself, going through a lot. And the fact that she went through that kind of a birth and that she went through something so traumatic, because I do think that is a traumatic, that's a traumatic thing. I think that is very scary, especially the fact that she said that she was afraid that her son might not have a mother. I think that she should have taken as much time as she needed away from Monat. But the reason why she couldn't take time away from Monat is because you have to work Monat. You can't take time off. There's a reason why these reps are constantly talking about how I can work from anywhere. I can work from my phone. Yeah, you can work from anywhere, but that doesn't mean that you need to work from anywhere all the time. And they make it seem like, yeah, it's no big deal. But if you watch, I forget if it was a few weeks ago, I did a reaction or I talked about something where someone was pitching someone in a grocery store. That to me is bonkers, because as a small business owner, I would never think to go up to someone and think of every single person as a potential recruit. not even a potential customer. So that to me is it just doesn't make any sense. But we're going to keep going. We're going to keep going. The thing that bothers me though is that she's using this story, this traumatic story, as a way to talk about her Monat paycheck. That's what really bothers me about this.
I usually do. And so the best paycheck I ever got was the paycheck I got the month after in January, because that's when you get paid what you did in December. Was amazing, right? I was so freaking grateful when that check hit my bank account, because I just knew that it wasn't 100% me. I knew that I wasn't able to, put into my business as much as I wanted to. And I knew that if I was on maternity at a job, that I wouldn't be working, but I also wouldn't be receiving the paycheck that I was receiving. So the best paycheck I ever got was the paycheck that I got after the birth of my son. The fact that I was able to get such a good paycheck, and we were going to be okay. My family was going to be okay. I was going to be able to provide for my family and do not have to worry or suffer. It was one of the most amazing feelings in the whole entire world, to be completely honest with you. I'm like, if this is my paycheck on a month that I feel like crap and I feel like I can't show up and I feel like I can't give my all, then imagine what my paychecks will be in the future when I feel good again, when I can put my best foot forward, when I can really truly be the leader that I am and really truly just work my business the way that I know that I can. And it's an experience that I can't even describe, but the only thing I can say is I am so grateful that I chose to do this. I'm so grateful that I have the opportunity to do this, to have an off month and still get paid, to maybe not show up as much and still get paid. Because let me tell you something, if you don't show up for a job, you're not going to get paid, period. But I was able to recover, to have a support system, to just be able to get back to myself, feel pressured into like, oh my gosh, I can't believe that I'm failing right now, and still get rewarded. That's the best type of income that you can make. Income that doesn't stop because you feel sick. Income that doesn't stop because you have to be with your kids, because you have to be with your family, because you need you time, because you need to feel better, and you're still getting that income. I mean, that's something that I encourage every single one of you to do. If you can find something that still pays you even when you're feeling bad, even when you're in the hospital, even when that's the best insurance policy you could ever have. So I needed to share that. It was on my heart. I hope you guys have a beautiful day too.
To say something to that, first of all, here in the US, we do need better maternity leave, and we do need something to be done about that. But that is a discussion for a completely different day. That is something that I'm sure there are people out there that have done amazing videos about. But that is something that we do have a problem here in the US, where it's not that great for a lot of people. Some people, I will say that for the 9-to-5s that I worked, the one place that I worked at, their maternity leave was absolutely amazing. But I have heard horror stories from other people that maternity leave was not great at all. That's how these MLM companies are able to target moms. They're able to target these moms who just had a baby and maybe have really terrible maternity leave, and now they're pitching them this opportunity. So there's a lot of underlying issues that are the reason. How would I word this? There's a lot of underlying issues that cause these men and women to join these MLM companies. So this is a much bigger picture. That there's so much more to this. There's so much more to the underbelly of all of this. But another thing as well is she talked about how she gave birth in December, and in January was when she got her paycheck for December. I thought that Monat reps always talked about how they got paid once a week or something like that, but I don't know if maybe she's confusing it with something else, or maybe there's like another type of a paycheck that you get. But the fact that she had her baby in December and she's talking about a paycheck that she got in January, depending on when the baby was born, depending on when she got the paycheck, it could be less than a month. I don't think that a mom who just had a baby should be expected to have the same motivation that she did prior to the birth of her child. Plus, I do think that she should be able to have time with her newborn. So there's so many things that are wrong with stuff that makes women join these MLM companies, but the fact that she used such a traumatic experience to pitch the opportunity, personally, I don't necessarily think that she did that with bad intentions, unless if I'm wrong and she is doing this as just a marketing tactic and she's leveraging her traumatic experience. But I want to hope in my heart that she wasn't using it just to market the business, that she is doing this because she genuinely thinks that other women can hear her story and kind of relate to her. I'm hoping that it's the second one, but I might be wrong. Editing Monica here again. I am filming the outro in editing mode because, as I said in the beginning, I'm splitting this video up into 2 parts. So make sure to tune back in for part 2. And let me know what you guys think in the comment section below about all of this. What did you think of what the reps were saying, etc., etc. But anyway, I will see you guys next time. This is Monica reporting to you live from a highway. Bye!